I hope that you really enjoy the business resilience in the new normal series. This is the end of this series, and obviously, I'm going to wrap it up by myself this time and talk about how you can be resilient and can make sure your business thrive and survive this phase through marketing and my branding advice. Okay, so we're going to get started. This session is going to be a bit longer because I have a lot of information and guidance to share with you, and this is you're going to love it. Let's get started. All right. The objective of this lesson, first of all, is to make sure that you know how to communicate effectively to attract and retain clients, how to be the brand a customer will always choose first, even when consumers are more price sensitive. And that's where we are right now. Business tactics and marketing strategies to continue to grow through crisis and flourish. Obviously, I'm Flavilla Fongang. I'm your brand strategist and the founder of Three Colors War, a branding and marketing agency. We love what we do. And then, as you know, I have to do a lot of public speaking and I love what I do, whether it is on a big stage or small stage. But with regards to Three Colors War, as I mentioned, a creative branding agency. So we do everything from strategy, design, and customer experience. So everything that will help your customer not only choose you, then love you, and then stay with you for long as you can. So we help companies present beautifully and communicate with simplicity so they can grow and scale their business faster. That's pretty much simple what we do. Okay, we work with a number of brands, big and small, as you can see here, and have been published in a number of newspapers. But when it comes to the crisis, I think there's a lot of, at the beginning, we were in a phase where everybody was really panicking, like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Are we going to survive this crisis? Because we've never, ever been in such a thing. Let's be honest, none of us have been in such a thing. I mean, as people alive. And I guess what we're trying to do is try to survive. So what we do, we cut everything down. Marketing team, advertising, no Christmas party, probably not any summer party either. So one thing that has always been very funny about this whole time was the fact that people were buying a lot of paper, toilet paper. Now we moved away from toilet paper to buying a lot of flour. Everybody's baking at home right now, which is super funny. But I guess, we don't, we can look into the past and learn from it, but nothing is very similar to actually, yeah, because of the swine flu, but as I said, no one as today in the technology of the world we live in has dealt with such a situation as such. And there's a lot that we can learn, and I always say to clients or friends that focus on the solution, not the problems, because nothing in life lasts. Let's remember that. When it comes to consumer and their spending, obviously we are much stricter. You obviously have to put yourself in the shoes of a consumer, but also as a business owner. So we are much more stricter with our spending, and therefore, businesses will have to, cut costs to adjust to the situation. Sometimes people are reducing their prices, which I think is not a great option to do unless you're doing extensive sale. Or sometimes people are postponing their new investment. In this case, as a business, you might say, this AI software solution I wanted to have, probably gonna have to wait a bit longer. So when we look at cash flow, I think what we want to do to survive this crisis is to make sure that we have cash in the bank. Because without cash in the bank, we can't pay our employees, we can't pay our office, we can't pay ourselves as well. And I think the idea of what people see when it comes to cash and putting cash, they think that it's about keeping it and not spending it at all. But I think when it comes to a crisis, actually, you should have a different approach to it. I'm going to explain it in a second. Protecting your cash flow means that you need to focus on investment activities. So it means that you can obviously cut spending, but do not cut investment, because without making investment, you would disappear. And the longer you wait, you're just literally saving as much as possible. But that's without making investment, then you can't bring back money into the house. Pretty much simple. I love what the Harvard Business Review said. They say companies that put customers' needs under the microscope take a scalpel rather than a cleaver to the marketing budget and nimbly adjust strategies, tactics, and product offerings in response to shifting demand are more likely than others to flourish both during and after a recession. We're going to go to details for that. You can read it. Just pause it and read it again. You hear my accent. Doing my accent. Read it again. It's a very important sentence because that will make a big difference in your ability to survive and thrive through this crisis. So obviously, the only way to increase purchases are based on a couple of things. First, consumers have to have disposable income. Without that, there's no spending. Obviously, they need to feel confident about the future. If you look at what's going on right now, the government not knowing what to do, and sometimes the cases of COVID-19 go up, Sometimes they go down, we don't know what's going on. So it's a bit, there's a lot of information and can make us very anxious. But also trust in business and the economy. If we have no trust in the business and the economy, our chances of wanting to spend more will make it as more doubtful. Obviously, embracing lifestyles and values that encourage consumption. Obviously, people can't travel right now. They can't go out. They can't celebrate birthday parties. They can't meet on a Friday night, having a drink. So therefore, nobody's spending money. All right. I think one thing I want to say, which is super important before talking about strategies and business tactics, is everything starts with the mindset. Without a positive mindset, you will not be able, as a leader or even as a marketer, to drive your entire business, the team that you manage, to want to be involved in your success. And I think I love that. It was the lady who created Spantex. I once said that during this, the same phase we're in, she said that I'm getting everybody to contribute right now. I said, whatever your receptionist, whether you are the office manager, everybody come up with a new idea and we can discuss. And she realized the importance of involving everyone in such a journey, because she wants to keep all the employees in. And if everybody feels part of that business as much and cares about business as much as she does, then they're more likely to want to help her. Obviously, some people have expertise in marketing and strategy more than others. But again, the fact that she give a chance for everybody to have a voice is super important. So your mindset, your ability to just drive your team to want to do more is what will really set the difference. So you may say, okay, Flavilla, you give us a lot of things, but what exactly do we need to do? So let me guide you through. So let's start with content, because content is super important. So the first phase should be about reassuring, so you can really maintain that strong brand emotional connection. The second phase is about refining your message, and now so you can really build brand loyalty. And the third phase is about repeating that content, repeating that message, shall I say, to really maintain or again emphasize brand advocacy. And I'm going to break it down so you understand it. In the phase one, people are a bit worried about what's going on. So it's important as a business to make, to communicate with your customers or your prospects that, don't worry, we understand that the situation is happening right now, but we're going to be working on it together. We're going to be working on it to solve this. So really, it's important that you also adapt your actions. I mean, like if nothing has changed based on COVID, if you haven't changed anything that for COVID-19, that's something that is not good for your business. You really need to reevaluate what you're doing right now. So we really need to even like us, we're doing a number of sessions. I've invited my clients to come into this business resilience new normal, so you can realize that obviously I care about them, I care about their success, but also I know that they're expert that can help you too, and that's super important. But again, it could be your offering, and so broadcast reassure messages reinforce an emotional connection with the brand and demonstrate empathy. Yes, empathy is probably one of the most powerful skills that you can have right now. If you're not able to demonstrate empathy, then that will definitely impact your business. And we've seen a lot of businesses that have suffered from a lack of empathy in their actions and words. So your words obviously must be backed by actions. Now that you say you're going to do some stuff, then sure, it's great. And demonstrate that your company is on the customer side. What are you putting in place to really support your customer? Whatever it is, delaying payment, whatever it is, all sort of things. There's so many options, but are you doing what you say you're gonna? Are you doing what you say, or you just a good talker? And in phase three, increasing brand loyalty is essential when consumers are more price sensitive. So you need to communicate strategically. People can, as I explained to you, if you are, for example, used to buying only organic products, for instance, well, if I buy just a normal non-organic product, it's going to save me some money that I can last a bit longer. I think that's what people are. That's the normal mindset. Is people trying to last as long as they can. But I think it's important to not just be waiting, but really to take action, so you make sure that you still have revenue coming in, and that's super important. Okay, so I'm just going to give you some examples of what brands have done, whether it's in B2B or B2C, so really get a sense of this only applies, it only works for B2C, it works for all type of companies. For example, like with a daily stand-up template, you can set up reminders that prompt your team and project channel for things like updates on work or pets, because I realize that everybody's working from home, so if you have pets or kids, they're around you. Speaking of which, won't you just send us some pics of your pets? Again, a good way to interact with your customers and so forth. Again, Lyft, obviously one of the taxi company, taxi app, I would say, was able to communicate in terms of what they're doing to make sure that you can jump in their cab and make sure that you feel safe, you don't come out with something else. And again, I love this was a campaign by Burger King in France, and I really love it. They're busy at that point, all the fast food were closed. And it is a really great campaign to really say, like, I know how much you like our burger, but let us show you how you can recreate it at home. This was a campaign run with Carrefour, which is the equivalent of Sainsbury's here, and also Uber Eats. So you can literally get everything packed up together by Uber Eats and get it delivered to your house. How cool is this? Yeah, I really like this idea. If I was in France, I would have bought from that. Again, here that was actually one of our clients. We just to explain as well, 80% of our clients are in the tech space, but we still have a couple of clients who are in other industries. And that's why, working with I tend to a lot of people I really like. I always do anyway. So yes, the Cocoa Plus did a good work, and they specialize in chocolate protein bars. Really nice. I really recommend. It tastes so good, especially the coconut version, if you like coconut. And did something really to showcase their support to the NHS and other version like that, really to present what they could do. So I really like that campaign. It was really good. So you have to understand is, in the normal marketing segmentation and normal segmentation, we really focus on demographics and psychometrics. But here we have to adjust exactly how we segment our customers. And I'm going to explain you that. So the segmentation should be very much around the psychology behind our purchasing power, and also the emotional reaction, to the economic environment. I'm going to explain that. You make a lot of sense instantly. So we have in a B2C customer segmentation in crisis, you have 4 categories, which have a slam on the brakes, the pain the patient, the comfortably well off, and the live for today. In B2B, you don't have a live for today. Okay, so I'm going to break it down and explain each of them, because I know that most of my viewers and people follow Freakers as well are B2B companies, but I will briefly go through the live for today, but we're going to focus now, because it's a B2B session, on the first 3 categories. Okay, so the slam on the brakes is basically if you see as a business, it's a company that's been pretty much hit right now and is very vulnerable. They have less than 3 months cash flow. They're not sure if they're going to survive the next couple of months. They're really counting on the government. Probably they took some loans and so forth, and they really cut it down, so reduce the spending to the max to stay afloat. The second one is the pain the patient. So in this case, they are a bit more stable, their financial or their cash flow, and so a bit more zen. But again, they're less optimistic about the long-term situation, and also less confident about the ability to maintain the same standard of living or same standard of the business situation they're in. Okay. And then the comfortably well off, this one is pretty much good money in the bank account, probably fit into the type 4-5% income earner, even as a business. So yes, so they're still able to make big investments, they're still able probably to spend more money. Doesn't mean that they're not adjusting, their spending, but again, they are much more comfortable. The last one that I didn't talk about, so I'm just going to step back to show you, but it's the live for today. The live for today is usually your millennial, not millennial, but your Generation Z, who is not necessarily the only income earner. So it means that they rely a lot from somebody else. So that doesn't affect them. They still live it like the way they want, and they're still spending the way they can. Because again, think about it. It could be your kids. They have, or maybe your teenager who has a part-time job, they live with his parents. So that could impact that. But within B2B, that doesn't really apply. Okay, so consumption categories. So now you have to understand that when you recognize which one is your target audience, okay, so you should have recognized that. Now you need to understand exactly what are the different consumption categories. So you have the essential necessary for survival or well-being, treats, indulgence considered justifiable, postponables, needs or desired purchase can be put off, and expendables not necessary or unjustifiable. So this is a secret. To be able to thrive, especially for this phase that we are in, you need to have products and services in every of these categories. If you only have products in the expendables, you make it really hard for people to convert, because they don't see the necessity to spend the money right now. Okay, but if you have product in the essential, you have product in the treats, you have product in the postponables, then you can offer services at different stages of your at different stage of your purchasing behavior that will adapt to what they want or what they are capable of spending. Okay. So I'm going to give you some examples of where work and fall into essential. So for example, time to rebrand and say, okay, we have changed our business model, we need to rebrand. Okay, that's super essential. Yes, marketing obviously is essential. Sell software. You need to have that. Video calls, insurance. Yeah, you can go there. Choice can be personal assistant, taxi, prospect lunch. Can I just do? I think we can all do video call and have coffee via that. And postponables can be: do we need an artificial intelligence software? Can this way? Can people need to be doing more training? Again, expendables can be: do we need a summer office party when we can just have a Christmas party, or feed food snacks and new equipment? And within this, in some of the elements I put in expendables, obviously things that rely us being able to go to work. But you might, again, some might think that you might think are not really necessary or essential right now. Okay. So which segment, the first question you need to ask yourself, which segment represent your consumers? Very important. Then which products or services are likely to appeal to them for each consumption category? Yeah, super important. So when sales start to decline, which happen for the majority of us, companies shouldn't panic and alter their brand's fundamental proposition or positioning. So what I mean by that, that if you spend so much time being Porsche, don't start presenting yourself as Vauxhall. Yes, there's a big danger in cutting your prices. Yes, because if you start getting customers at a lower rate, then it means that the perceived brand value that you've created over this time will be lowered, and it's really hard to go back up when you put your price down. The technique that I always say that if you decide to make an exception and give your customer a discount, it's always good to, let's say for example, you charge 5K for a service and you charge some 3K. So when you raise your invoice, make sure that you put down the full amount and you put the discount price on it. So at least you still have clarity in terms of what is the actual value, even though they're paying less. This is a bit technique that I want to share with you. Okay, the power of good marketing strategy, during crisis or recession will increase obviously your brand visibility and credibility, because most people are not stop spending, or you should be spending. Market share of your business, returning customers, of course, sales and profit growth. And yes, it's a lot of things. So please keep listening because I have some great information to give you. Right. So you said, Maggie, there's a lot of information. Where do I start? Okay, so I'm going to break it down into bite size. Okay. So first of all, understand your target audience behavior, crisis behavior. So which one are there? Yes, because without that, you will not be able to understand what they will put into the essential category or not. Yes. The second thing is don't be arbitrarily cut your marketing budget, but adjust it. So for example, if you are spending money on TV advertising, can we just move into social advertising, because you realize that our behavior in this isolation or lockdown or recession is changing. So make sure that you are where your customers are. So for example, if you look at it, it's very interesting actually. I was downloading apps recently, and I realized that LinkedIn was one of the top apps downloaded right now. So people are not spending time on LinkedIn just Monday to Friday. They're on LinkedIn every day. Rethink your product or service delivery to offer what your clients value the most. And again, that comes back to understanding how each of your products or services may be categorized. And if you don't have products or services in every category, can you create new one? That's where your ability to create new business models or a new business product strategy is key in your ability to be able to thrive and be resilient for this phase. Focus on existing customers and turn them into brand advocates. Yes, important. So go back to your customer, have a conversation if you haven't already done it. Yes, how can you help? How can we help you? And vice versa, if naturally want to help you, it's like, hey, I love to work with people like you. Is anybody else you can recommend us? So don't be afraid to ask. It's so important. Again, I think the more you treat them, the more you make them feel better, the more they likely to recommend you. Say, you know what, during that phase, I love how they treated us. This is the kind of companies that you should really work with. And everything that you do, and I think a lot of companies are really underestimating the power of the action right now and how people remember them. Think about your brand is everything, and how you want to be remembered is super, super duper key. Increase educational communication activities. Test, tweak, and repeat. Again, same thing, like if you can communicate, especially with new audience, as much as possible. So I love it, like whatever it is in B2B or B2C, if you are, for example, a Thai restaurant, yes, and you can't right now serve, can you create your own YouTube channel where you can help people recreate some of your dishes? People will not stop going to the restaurant, because as much as I love cooking, I still love going to restaurants. So really helping your customers, creating something that will help them through that, will allow them to remember you when things get better. Improve affordability. Again, something I was talking to somebody else who was on one of the webinars I've run, and I have an 18-month service contract. This is too long. Nobody wants to commit to something so long right now. And again, something, if you know that your product is so good, bring it down, reduce the cost of that. So really extend credit or reduce item. You can also offer 10% discount if it's all paid upfront. Good way to, especially if you need cash flow. That is super effective. So your ability to just price, have a great pricing strategy and service offering and so forth will make a big difference for your business. You can have a pipeline of innovation. Remember, in different section of you remember essentials, treats, expendables, and so forth that I talked about before. It's very important that you understand that through this phase, your ability to keep on innovating will make a big difference. If you are not innovating, for then when your clients is in a better position to invest more, you will have nothing new to offer. So really think about your next, just think about right now, but think about the next phase where the economy will rise again and you'll be able to offer something different, something of better value when all your competitors will be in the, on the other side. Yeah, so that's better for you. Stay flexible, adjust your strategies and tactics. So again, there's any people that you can along the, if you look at your channel, or people who offer, for example, teller or serve the same clients as you. Anybody that you can join, have a GV or joint venture, merger and acquisition or partnership. Think about that. Like, it's so important to be, resilient. I love this word. Business. It's about business resilient. Everything I'm sharing right now is your ability to just not be stuck to where you are doing things and do things much better. Okay. Analyze and track. Yes, make sure you track it. Especially now, you're going to be implementing a lot of new things. If you're not analyzing and tracking everything that you're doing, how are you going to be able to improve your delivery? Okay. Again, be open to a new business model. I'm not a big keen of. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that just obviously don't go and approaching a new market or new niche is very difficult, especially when you are not yet a key player in your field. So really be careful in terms of how you do that. But again, if you think that you have a business, especially for SaaS company, if you think that you have a product that may benefit other services and you're doing something that is very different, I would say, why not? If you look at companies such as HubSpot, they serve so many different customers, so say, why not you? Yeah. Expand vertically. Again, that really aligns with that. We build your product that appeals to a wide range of industries and roles. And it could be the case if you think about Salesforce and stuff like, and Salesforce, HubSpot, companies that serve more than one type of customers, then why not? Be the hope, because nothing lasts forever. I think your mindset and how you treat your customers, or how you treat your employees, and how you treat your suppliers, how you deal with the media, will make a big difference in terms of your ability to be resilient in this phase. And if you're not able to have that, that will affect you a lot. So your attitude is key. Your attitude will have a knock-on effect on the rest of your team. So it's important that you have that. So if you are familiar with my video, I talked about, and if you're not familiar with my video, I talk about that because of my DAC system, which is super important right now to make sure that you stay aligned. So the DAC system is really the only way to develop an iconic brand, a brand that really will last. So first phase is your strategy. Yeah, you might be changing things around right now, but you have to make sure that your strategy is right. If you start your strategy, it means that you might need to reevaluate where your branding identity is at. So if you say, for example, if you decided to expand vertically to new industries, then definitely your brand identity will need to be adjusted. And therefore, as a result, your marketing and digital and sales activities will need as well to adjust. But do not change your digital and marketing activities or your reevaluating your brand identity or your brand strategy. This needs to be done in the right order. That's why they name a number: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, distinguish, attract, convert. Especially now, if you're reevaluating your business model or what you're doing and who you want to serve, your identity will need to change. There's nothing you do about it. You need to change it. And obviously, especially if you enter a new market, it means that you need to evaluate what is the best way to now reach these new prospects. Okay. Obviously, understanding the psychology behind that, that's something that we do. So one thing I wanted to do, I challenge you to do right now, is to go back to your customers and ask them, what should you continue doing? What should you start doing? And what should you stop doing? Again, you can do stop, start, continue, whatever the order you think more comfortable. That will really allow you to understand exactly where they see the value in what you do. So what should you continue doing, what you start doing, what you stop doing. I found such a great value in talking to customers and utilizing that to then in your content, your copywriting, so resonate with the same customers. Again, what can you do? What can you introduce to leverage your existing customers, your customer base? Ask yourself this question. That's super important. What can you introduce to leverage your existing business resources? Again, business resources is not just about money. It's a lot of things that you can think about. So really think about that element as well. Okay. What can you introduce that's a natural addition based on what you already provide? What can you add? So again, something that you're able to offer essential products that your customers are ready to buy right now. That is brilliant. Yes, or prospect can buy right now. That's brilliant. And what can you introduce that requires the least capital investment or financial risk? Again, something you are here about, remember we talk about making investment, doesn't mean that you need to throw away all your cash flow. So make sure that you use the money wisely and your investment pays off the fastest way possible. Again, within in this session, I was doing a 30-second strategy ideas. If you can't hear me, but if you have any questions, you can always reach out through our website, where I'll be offering a free brand assessment. Really, I really recommend it. And even if you say, I have no idea if I really want that, just speak to us. You know, you're going to learn a lot of things to discover really all the untapped opportunities that you're probably missing out right now. And we're really good at just figuring out how to move companies across this tough time so you can thrive furthermore. And I hope that you enjoyed this session. So again, something if you type freecolors.co.uk, not .com this time, .co.uk/Flavilla, you can find I have a number of links that take you to my brand courses, my digital branding marketing agency, obviously, my speaker website, my podcast, my YouTube channel where you're watching this right now. Obviously, I'm on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and you can also take the quiz to figure out how good are you at developing your brand. Obviously, if you're not doing it well, you probably want to contact us. We'll be happy to help. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching this short webinar. I hope that you enjoyed the business resilience in a new normal series. I really did this because I wanted to help. I love my clients, first of all, but also wanted to help you create a brand that really makes a difference, especially I know how hard it is right now to achieve and just thrive through and get new clients. But as I say, nothing lasts forever, and your ability to be resilient and thrive through this phase will help you a lot. So please get in touch, like this video, share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.